Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back. I'm back with another card today. And I'm using, sorry, that was my printer that just quit. I wanted to use some of this pretty fall paper that I had shared with you that came in the Brutus Monroe Fall Florals Inspiration Box kit that I had ordered. So I did go over in another video all the stuff that came in this little envelope, the stamp set and papers, and I can't even remember what all was in there. Oh, little ribbons. Oh, I wonder if I should use that ribbon. I pulled out a different one. I probably could have used this on here too. Oh well, let's stick with the plan, Stan. More cards to come later. Those were pretty. I might use those instead of. Sorry, I'm mumbling. Because what did I pick out? Oh, I had picked out the amber gems to go on this, but I may go with the sequins that came in it. That's pretty, yeah. All right, so I'm using Stampin' Up cardstock because that's what I have and that's what I like. That's what I use. And I'm starting with an early espresso card base. So this is a beautiful dark brown, nice for autumn cards. I chose the one design out of the little 6x6 paper pad that has the chicky on it and then the flowers on the back. And I did have to use 2 sheets of paper to do this card because when I cut my banners out, it didn't leave enough room for me to make this panel for my card front. And I cut it in a manner that my little chicken was going to be showing down here because I like that chicken. And so, while doing that, I cut a banner out of Early Espresso and then a smaller banner out of the same paper but using the opposite side because they coordinate. Yes, they do. I used my banner dies. Now, if you don't have banner dies, you can do this easily with a rectangle and then just flag the ends. As it is, even using the banner dies, I ended up cutting 1/4 of an inch off of each side to make it a little narrower. Only because I wanted my little chicken to show down there more than it was with the full size. So my top panel was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And then the background banner, you just start with a 2 inch by 4 1/4 and then flag your end. And you flag the end of your card for anyone who maybe is new. Scrap paper. I have a tiny piece of yellow here I'll show you. You're going to just judge where the center of your rectangle is and make a slit up the middle and then start from one corner and cut to the top of your slit and then from the other corner and cut to the top of your slit. Make a meet. Preferably without cutting your hands. And there you have a flag. So easy peasy enough to do just with a pair of scissors and your paper. I think I'll save that little flag. Okay, so that was 2 by 4 1/4, and then the pattern paper was 1 5/8 by 3 1/2. And that is after I trimmed my little extra, was it an 1/8 or 1/4 of an inch? I can't remember. I did trim it down though from the dies. Sorry, I just realized I hadn't checked the volume to make sure that there was volume on this because sometimes my camera had gone off and I had to unplug it and replug it back in. And sometimes when I do that, I have to reset the volume. Okay, so I'm going to put this here and then I cut a piece of Mine is pumpkin pie that matches the orange in my little chick. And I used my Stitch So Sweetly, I think it is. Yep, Stitch So Sweetly dies. But again, you can do this just by cutting rectangles. The back panel is 2 by 3 1/8. And then the one we're going to stamp our greeting on is 1 5/8 by 2 3/4. And I'll jot all those down in the description box, just in case you didn't catch it all. So we're going to do that. I also pulled out, I have some braided burlap trim and some brown twine. And I thought somehow I would probably wrap this around my card under my greeting there. So we'll have to use some dimensionals to pop that up over the burlap if I use that, because yeah, I think I'm going to go with the burlap. The yellow dot is cute. Oh, I'm just going to use my burlap with the brown. Again, the original plan. Okay, so the first thing I guess I need to do is stamp a greeting on here, right? And I think I need some more birthday cards coming up. So we can do a birthday card most certainly in autumn colors. I have actually 2 of my siblings' birthdays will be coming in October, so this will work. Let's do Happy Birthday. That's a nice small one too. That'll fit. This is from the Very Best Occasions set by Stampin' Up. And I pulled out some leaves because I was feeling a little guilty. There's not really a whole lot of stamping on this card. Again, I'm using my paper, letting the paper do most of the work for me. So I kind of had a little thought here, maybe we can spruce it up a little bit with some more stamping. But let's get and I should probably check this. I don't remember if this one stamps straight. It does pretty well. Oh, I did that really crooked, huh? Yeah. Let me just do another one of those little puppies. That's why, actually, for me, it's much easier if I stamp first and die cut second. Because when I have those labels already die cut, you can't really use the back of the, you can, but they have faux stitching in there, so you have a rough side and a smooth side. So using the back is going to be using it on the rough side. I don't want to do that. Let me close this up for a minute while I cut out my greeting again, so I don't stick my hand in there. See, it's much easier just to line my die up over. But you do however you're comfy. Right. Ooh, I also just remembered I need to check. Did I bring my phone up here? Oh, I did. Thank goodness. My son might need to go pick up his wife's car today, and he's going to call me if he needs a ride to go get that. Forgot. Okay, all better now. Fixed up. Right? Did I cut that out of the littlest one? Probably should have done the next bigger size. That's okay. Actually, that works out. So this one is only about 1 1/8 by 2 1/4. I think I'll add that because let me change it on here, 1 1/8. 1 1/8 by 2 1/4 because that is better. The way I wanted to spruce this up a little bit was use the early espresso ink, and I found a couple of little leaf stamps from that stamp set that was included with this kit, the Fall Florals. I just went through and I picked out a couple of the little leaves that matched the design of the leaves on the print paper. And I thought maybe we could put some of those in the background here and make our panel a little more decorative and get some extra stamping in there. Just not getting to stamp, but I think I'm going to stamp off once. Yep. Good call. Just use this stamp to add a little design behind our birthday greeting. Yes. Happy with that. Oh, thank goodness. I was afraid. Was I not on camera there? Oh. So hope everybody's doing good. Getting ready for a weekend. We will, when this airs, we will just come back from our camping trip. So I was trying to get this recorded ahead of time so that I could have some time to unpack and clean and put everything away from camp. Let's see now. So hopefully when this is airing, we will have had a beautifully relaxing week. Well, not a full week, close to a full week, not quite. All right, I don't want to glue my panel to the card base until I've decided what I'm doing with my burlap trim. But I can add my banners together. Trying to keep my border rather even around there. And this will go on here. Yes. I think so. I think we'll put the burlap trim over this and under the greeting. Sound good? Yeah, so I didn't really do this one on the fly. I had a plan. Yeah. And as you can see, I've already changed it a couple times. But I think it works a little better if I'm if I have an idea of what I want to do rather than just winging it the whole way. Oh, good, I didn't cover up my check. All right, I'm going to put this around. You know what, let's see where I'm going to line up our greeting. So I know where I can put my burlap. going to have to use glue dots for this for sure. Don't touch my camera cord. That's how it went out earlier. I think right about there. So maybe what I'm going to need to do too, this burlap trim is kind of thick. I love it, but it's kind of thick. What else say? Oh, what is that neighbor going to do out there now? He cut his grass for like 17 hours yesterday. I swear, these old men and their tractors, you know. Now it's a chainsaw today. I was sort of hoping it'd be quiet since he was out there all day yesterday with the tractor. Not to be. So let me think here how I want to add this, because I don't want a huge gap back there. So we might just put some foam tape and above it and below it just to make it even. All right, put some twine around this burlap trim. Oh, good, I have just enough. I was going to say, watch me run out, because I am, I like to wrap 3 times. I'm just weird like that. Yep, just weird. I was watching a YouTube video about making journals, and I was looking at one. Nick the Booksmith was telling how to make a raggedy page to add to it. I had to laugh because she said most people wouldn't see this, but I think she said, but we're weird, so we don't throw it away. And I just was thinking how true that is, because my husband looks at stuff and he's like, what are you going to do with that? And when they started sending some of our mail from, I think it was our life insurance company, they started sending it in sort of brown craft envelopes rather than white envelopes. And I was so excited. I was like, oh, good, brown envelopes. Are you going to throw it away? Does it matter what color it is? I'm not going to throw it away. Good Lord. It's a brown envelope. Can't throw a brown envelope away. Might have to put a glue dot under the burlap on the front to hold it down. Or I could loosen it up a little bit. Might just have it pulled a tad too tight. Let's try that first. These glue dots are tough, though. There we go. All right. So let's grab then. This might work. And I don't know where I got this. I can't honestly tell you. Sorry. I think that you can get it from anywhere. It's just foam tape. And I honestly, it's sticky on both sides, but I still glue it. Only because if I'm going to go to all the trouble of, I shouldn't say trouble, because this is not trouble, this is fun. If I'm going to put the effort into making a card, I don't want it to fall apart as soon as somebody gets it. That would be no fun for them. And it doesn't seem very sticky. That's I don't. It's probably a good thing I don't know what kind it is, because I don't think I would tell you anyway. So I have to get this done today. I gotta do my design team card for Stampin' Up. I have to Oh, my neighbor's supposed to call me because I'm watching their dog this weekend. And I have to go over and review his little medicine schedule and get where his food and treats and stuff all will be. And then what else? Oh, and then if my son calls, I'll have to run with him. And busy day, I'm telling you. I'll tell you, I had no idea that being retired was going to be so hectic. It's craziness, I'm telling you. I did meet one girl that I used to work with. I met her for dinner last night. It was nice to see her. We try occasionally to meet up at our one historical building. They have a little picnic area outside. And we try, when the weather's nice, to meet up there for lunch a couple of times through the summer. And this year we just didn't get to. I mean, we started doing that through the pandemic, because it was outside, and that way we could still visit with each other, but not necessarily be within 6 feet of each other. Wasn't that the rule? 6 feet? I don't know. But it was nice because we just sit out there, and actually the one day it was so warm. I think I got a sunburn while we had lunch. But we would just take our little picnic lunches, meet up there and visit. So last night we actually went to our one local restaurant and had dinner. And got to catch up. It's been about a year since we got to visit with each other. So that was really nice. Just life gets in the way. I think this foam tape was probably a good choice. Now, because I put that on there, I actually put this below my burlap. I don't have to put it over top of it and add more dimension. Though I like it better over top of it. Oh, the tough decisions of making cards, right? Well, this will be my deciding factor, I think. Is this going to be thick enough? Yeah, it will. Okay, let's just use dimensionals. And we'll put a row on the bottom. And y'all know not to throw away your edge pieces when you've used all your dimensionals. Use them up. This is a perfect example of that. Okay. Now this should fit right over top of our trim, and we can add a couple little sequins for fun. Oh my goodness, I almost put that on upside down. Did you see that? Make sure this is straight. Cute. I love fall cards. I really do. I'm not one of those ones that jumps on the bandwagon, with pumpkin spice everything. And I don't typically start decorating my house for Halloween or anything until the end of September. But I do start pulling out some of my fall things. Because I'm putting my summer house decorations away. And then I just replace them with autumn things. But I do like making fall cards. Trying to figure out how to do this without spilling these all over. I think they're going to have to go in. I'll have to get a little container for them. because we know this is going to be dangerous for me. I'll have these puppies everywhere. Okay, let's just put some sprinkles on. These are so cute. You know, I'm not typically a sequiny person. This would be great in a shaker card. We have to do a shaker card. I haven't done one for a long time. And I think the reason that I don't do shaker cards very often is I never like the way my tape layers up on my card. It never seems to be like this is pretty flat and even. I've had an awful lot of shaker cards though. When I'm done, they warp. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. They kind of warp. Get off of my little jewel picker thingy. Get off. Thank you. These guys are all stuck together. Why did I put that there? Don't know. Do you use sequins when you're making cards? I almost always use whatever elements I have from Stampin' Up. You know, I have, Lord knows, I have a whole bin of them down here. I just never use them fast enough, and so I put them down here, and that's typically what I grab when I'm making cards. I mean, I have stuff for pretty much every occasion. And sequins aren't usually the thing that I gravitate towards. Patience is a virtue. Oh, that wasn't good. I stuck my... Get these off here so I could see where else I might need something. I'm liking the little ones. Put another little one there. Another little one here. What do you think? I guess that should do, right? Cute. I like this paper. This pretty fall florals. 6x6. Cutesy cutesy. And if you missed it the day that I did share this, a lot of little fox designs in here. And I almost went with fox. I like that one too. That little birdhouse one, that would really look pretty with our parakeet party from Stampin' Up! Too. So I might have to try that. So there we have it. There's our little autumnal happy birthday card with a little chickie on there. Oh, see, I'm still dropping sequins. Got to get those babies in a jar before I have a mess. So I hope you like this card and it inspires you to go make something and send it out and make somebody smile. And I will see you all very soon. Thanks for being with me. Bye.